And then in 24 hours, it's plus 11.
It's seeding time in southern Alberta, and Stephen Vandervalk is already concerned.
Prices are great, so they can't complain about that, but inputs are skyrocketing. Skyrocketing might not even the word, it's just gone crazy to the point of we're not able to even get some product, and you can't potentially even afford to put it in the ground.
But there is pressure on these fields to perform because the war in Ukraine is now putting millions in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa at risk of having too little food. Last month at the NATO summit in Brussels, Canada's Prime Minister promised this country would be there to help.
The issue of food security, how we can ensure that at home we're planting as much as possible, and that is something that Canada can contribute to.
It's difficult to watch that, to be honest. It's coming from a government who knows very little about agriculture. First of all, farmers grow as much as we can every year. It's not like something we can just ramp up production.
Particularly as the costs of fertilizer and fuel soar.
But the challenges go beyond rising input costs. Many farms across the prairies are coming off one of the worst drought seasons in decades. And as seeding begins here in southern Alberta, the fields are very dry.
2021 was not a good year, and the reason why it matters so much this year is because we're starting the new year 2022 with really low inventories. Typically you would actually have something to sell, something to work with, but that's not the case in 2022.
It also means seeds for this year's crop are in short supply.
And unfortunately, in the federal budget a couple of weeks ago, there was really no provisions to help farmers with any inputs whatsoever.
Farmers will just have to cut back on what they do, which means they'll cut back on yield.
And in a global grain shortage, that is the opposite of what the world needs from Canada. Heather Yourex-West, Global News, near Fort Macleod, Alberta.